All right, the Santa Claus or the Santa Clocks or the Santa Claus and the Seattle King Spirit. Let's get into these things because this year is a great year for that Christmas bomb and quake. And then the 24 on 9/11 to 25 on 9/11 is this year and next year, and these things overlap a Christmas spirit and that Xmas spirit, the Christ versus X, and those things that's lining out in your world. But Seattle, the King Spirit, that's where the dragon and crow are buried as well. And the king and the dragon are coming. And the crow is the one who walks from the between the dead and the living. And this also connects you to your secret in them and those things. But there's a few volcanoes around Seattle. And then Washington is also getting the floodwaters and the evacuations and those things. And then that Mount Rainier, and we got that Rainier kind of thing lining up in the Pineapple Express. But the Butler, Pennsylvania, those things we've seen. And the Baker, as far as Charlie Netkirk, that thing happened. But as these things cycle into our world, Mount Baker is up there near Seattle. You got Mount Olympus, you got St. Helens, you got the Glacier Peak, you got Mount Adams and Mount Hood. All those are wrapped into these stories that's going on now that tell us about the so-called King Spirit and Dragon and all those things that rest around there as far as symbolically speaking in the dark sentencing. But also this is where things are all wrapping up, and we got the Space Needle there. We got the Kraken there. This Kraken and the beast and shit can come out or whatever. You can have one big one out of the ocean and 10 smaller ones to cover the beast and 10 horns, and then one out of the earth, and then 2 smaller ones, those types of things, as the interstellar visitors and the aliens and all that stuff is already here. And that's why you got the Space Needle there as far as in Seattle, and then Toronto and Vegas and those types of things. And that also lines up with the visions and dreams that I told you that I had in 2012, 2013, those types of things in the bathtub and where the blast went through me. But so we're in these time frames of that Christmas bomb, Christmas quake time frames, and this can go into the 2026 and 2027 for the alphabet time frames. And the February is the Roman calendar December, and the deception that Jesus warned about is upon you, and you're in the deception, okay, December to September and those things. So good year for the bomb and quake, folks. And he left with a bomb and quake, and